You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
This is the morning weather briefing. This is for Tuesday, the 25th of November. This is meteorologist James Spann. It's been a very active morning for the northern half of the state. South Alabama has been dry. Let's go right to the radar. And for those watching on the socials, we are live at 7:25 this morning. A little late because we did live wall-to-wall coverage on the Alabama Weather Network for a few hours early this morning. But the band of severe storms well into Georgia now, coming through Atlanta. And in the wake of the line of storms, just basically some light rain falling over the northeastern part of the state. Nothing severe. We do note a few heavier storms are redeveloping over parts of West Alabama, specifically in parts of Greene and Pickens counties, in the broad zone between Gordo and Utah. Those are under severe limits. They're producing a lot of loud thunder, heavy rain. Those are moving east. Those could be affecting Tuscaloosa soon. But, of course, the big question is, can the air mass recover from this morning round of storms for another round this afternoon or this evening? And we'll talk about that as we go. We'll check the upper air look, and you can see that well-defined trough west of the state. That's providing the dynamic support for the big storms this morning. The wind dynamics are very good this morning, but they should be weakening this afternoon. And the radar composite showing that line of heavier storms coming into Atlanta, again about 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern this morning, and mostly light rain in the wake of that band over northeast Alabama. So the air is relatively cool and stable for the northern third of the state. We've got 50s this morning. Upper 60s in South Alabama. Parts of South Alabama could see low 80s today. That's where the air will be unstable later today. So the current watch warning map, we have no watches, no warnings in effect for Alabama except for a little bitty flash flood warning for parts of DeKalb County up in northeast Alabama. We have wind advisories around Memphis. And for travelers, here's your watch warning map today. Busy travel day. Thanksgiving a couple of days away. We've got winter storm warnings in effect. Parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, upper Michigan. Winter weather advisories in effect for the Dakotas. And off to the west, we have some dense fog over parts of eastern Texas. So here's the severe weather outlook today. And again, we have this level 2 out of 5, slight risk of severe storms for areas south of Interstate 59, the areas in yellow on that map. Surrounding that, a marginal risk south of a line from near Millport to Huntsville. For the Shoals, Russellville, Rogersville, Haleyville, Hamilton, no risk of severe storms today. And we'll talk much more about the possibilities for today as we go along here. This is the probabilistic outlook for tornadoes, with new storms that would form later today. And we've got that area of brown. That's a 5 to 9% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point. And again, we'll go through timing and modeling here in just a second. Tomorrow, busiest travel day of the year. No severe storms expected anywhere in the country. Maybe some thunder on the South Atlantic coast. And on day 3, Thanksgiving Day, much of the country in a very chilly, stable air mass. Maybe some thunder down around Miami and Key West. Rain for the next 7 days. This counts the additional rain we see today and the rain we see with the next feature on Sunday. Numbers are pretty good here. We need this. Amounts could exceed 2 inches over the northern two-thirds of the state, about 1 inch for South Alabama. So model fans, here we go. Let's go through today. This is the European, the 06C run, valid today at 4. In that little shortwave, the really good forcing that we saw this morning, that feature weakens and dampens out. There's a new shortwave over the northern plain states, well north of here. But hopefully that weaker support later today will mitigate any big chance of severe storms. So let's go to high-resolution modeling. This is the high-resolution HRR model, HRRR, high-resolution rapid refresh, valid this afternoon at 1 o'clock. And you can see additional storms forming in advance of the surface front over parts of north and west and maybe southwest Alabama. Now, the one thing about the storms later today, the air will be unstable. This morning, we had no surface-based instability. The storms early this morning were driven by dynamic support, incredibly good dynamics, hardly any thermodynamics. It will be just the opposite this afternoon. The thermodynamics will be good. The air will be unstable, However, the strong wind fields are fading fast. I mean, they are fading really fast. And the question is, could there be a little window where we still got some good dynamics in play with the instability and there's some severe weather, or will the weakening dynamic support just mitigate any severe thunderstorm activity? We'll simply have to watch radar trends, but thankfully with that weakening dynamic support, we don't have a major problem with severe storms today. But again, we'll have that one additional batch of showers and storms this afternoon and this evening. And then after that, we are dry tomorrow. Sunny, breezy, cooler. Highs in the 50s for North Alabama, 60s for the southern part of the state. Thanksgiving Day on Thursday. A cold morning. We start the day around freezing. The high will be in the 50s for much of the state. Black Friday will be in the 20s in many areas, a freeze pretty much statewide. The high Friday, upper 40s and 50s. Saturday, Iron Bowl Saturday. Now, rain breaks out to the west. Little Rock, Shreveport, Oklahoma City, Springfield. We're still dry, and it still looks cold and dry for the Iron Bowl. These are 6 o'clock temperatures Saturday evening. Lee County, this is coming off the European, 48. The American GFS, 47. Very good model agreements. So again, we're looking cold and dry, temperatures in the 40s for the Iron Bowl in Lee County with no rain. And then Sunday, yes, rain will return. This is Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, showing a batch of rain in here. Maybe some thunder. Don't expect any severe storms. And then Monday, the rain is gone. We have seen some other runs that kind of linger the rain in here. And then a week from today, this is Tuesday, the 2nd of December. Got a big trough developing over the eastern states and evidence there might be some rain maybe Monday night or Tuesday morning of next week with that Arctic front coming in here. But that should set up some pretty cool days next week. Let's go out 10 days. This is Thursday, December 5th. A zonal flow and a cool, dry air mass. Rain for the next 15 days, valid through the 10th of December. We're looking for the green line on that chart, the mean a little over 4 inches. That's rain we could use. Temperatures coming off the national blend of models, 70s today. This will be the last day in the 70s for a while. 60 tomorrow. By Friday, upper 40s. Notice Friday morning will be in the 20s. And next week looking kind of cool and dry with highs mostly in the 50s and lows mostly in the 30s. And the latest long-range guidance here. This is for December 2nd through December 8th. Temperatures a little above average here, well below average to the north, but that could set the stage for frequent rain-producing events in that kind of clashing zone there. And one really quick look at the power outage situation this morning. Now, this was as of 7:20. I'm live at 7:33. But again, the concentrated damage, the wind damage was North Tuscaloosa County, North Jefferson, South Walker, parts of Blount, St. Clair, Calhoun, Etowah counties. That's that bow-shaped echo coming through. And there might have been a little brief spin-up tornado near Mount Olive based on some of the damage we've seen there. We'll get an assessment later today from the Weather Service. But again, that's the current power outage situation this morning. But it clearly defines that path of strong winds. And thankfully, Shelby County, Clay County, with no power outages. Really, south of Interstate 20, the winds were not that bad. So one more time, we'll go to the radar. We're live this morning at 7:33. And the severe storms we saw earlier this morning over North Alabama, those are coming through Atlanta right now. And the southern half of the state is dry. And we are watching those newer storms that are forming to the west over parts of Pickens, Greene, and Tuscaloosa counties. They're under severe limits, and the air is relatively cool and stable and worked over by the morning rain. So I don't think those become severe, but we'll have to watch. Really, I think that the central part of the state right in through here, that US 80 corridor, that's where the air will be relatively unstable. There could be a little outflow boundary from the morning storms, and we've still got those dynamics in play. For the next several hours, we'll be watching this zone for any storms that form and keep a close eye on them. But again, that'll wrap it up today. It's been an interesting, active morning. And again, no school visits for the rest of this week. It is Thanksgiving. Don't forget to watch us this evening on ABC 3340 News. And don't forget, every day I'm on great radio stations around the state, including at Birmingham 98.7 KISS. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous Tuesday, and God bless.